Okay, let's see if we can do this again. If this does this again, I'm just going to have to find a different alternative because this is driving me crazy. Um, so I showed you that she is Lebanese. Um, I was looking into this. Let's see what happens. I'm so nervous to touch anything. It's scary. It looks a little like it was going to do something strange. So the DNA of ancient Canaanites lives on in modern day Lebanese. Genetic analysis shows. Let's go down here. This is pretty much where I want to be. A new genetic analysis shows that scientists were wrong. According to a study in the American Journal of Human Genetics, today's Lebanese share a whopping 93% of their DNA with ancient Canaanites who lived nearly 4,000 years ago. So there's that. That's our bloodline. Um, you know, I'm not sure if how much I want to get into this part, but it's my belief. I just feel so. It's my belief that Cain and Eve were cannibal also, which the Canaanites were. Now the bird's missing. I'm sorry if y'all hear that and it's loud, but Cain is Cain comes. That's Satan's bloodline, Cain, and I know there's an incursion in Genesis 6 with the fallen angels. But there's one that happens in the garden in Genesis 3. Um, I just don't know if I want to get that deep into this. I'm so worried it's going to kick me off, and I really want to get into this halftime show, which I didn't even call that up. Um, what was I going to say? But this is her bloodline. She's clearly from the Canaanite bloodline, and they're all of these stars, they're all Freemasons, which means nothing more than they're Luciferian. They're Satanists. That's who they are, and they publicly a horrible time here. Hopefully you didn't get bombarded by that. This is going terrible. I'm really having so many issues. But you'll see in the beginning of this, the first thing that one of the first things she does, Shakira, when she comes out, she's going to do something really important that I've never really seen them do on this level during one of these shows. Um, not cooperating. I'm trying to pull up the Super Bowl halftime show and it keeps pulling up all kinds of other things. But I just want to show you what she does in this. Um, oh, what she's doing. I knew I should have my daughter come on so that when I have these things going on, she can kind of jump in for me. All right, so I think I'm going to have to unplug this for a minute so you can. I just want to show you what she's doing in here. And it's really important to know this. Right, well, here she goes. See this? It's right here. This is a distress call to the Freemasons. You see, they're all doing it. And what she's doing, she's saying, come, I need help. This is like their form of prayer, like Christians form prayer chains, and or we have prayer groups. We come together and we pray for each other. This is what they're doing right here. Come, join me. But I've never really seen them do this like this in one of these shows. You can go back over here and I'll show you that's what this is. This is such a pain. I have to find a different way to do this. We used to be able to just use Google Hangouts to do this, and you can't use it anymore. But you see? Right here. See them doing it? That's what she's doing. And it's a distress call. I need help. Join me. So let's go to the next thing she's going to do in here. And they say it part in this, so I have a video of it. They're just short little clips about the Super Bowl, and they're meant to make people go look for themselves. Got it written down to make it a little bit easier. 43. Her and Shakira both have these rappers or male singers come out, and I think I'm going to have to take this off. I really don't want to play too much sound on this, but hopefully okay. These two rappers both sing or rap in Spanish. The only thing they say in English is this right here. And you're going to see her. She's going to ride around with a snake. I mean, this is just so progressive. Listen right here. I don't know if you caught that or not, but what he says right there is this is the new religion. So they're bringing in a new religion. Now, we know where we are right now. Biblically, we go to one world currency, a cashless currency. And I think we're seeing that happen right now. What is next? Well, we have to have a one world religion. And you're seeing other people do this too. I'm not a fan of the prosperity preachers at all. One of the ones that really drives me nuts is Joel Osteen. I mean, he's not even a preacher. He's a motivational speaker. And then using God's name to get rich. And it makes me sick. And who went on there? Kanye West. Who is Osteen promoting? The Pope. That's the beast. The Pope. Kanye West hanging out with Joel Osteen about 2 months ago, maybe 3, right before all this stuff happened. Was one of the last Sunday services that I saw with Kanye West. And he gets up on a stage and he basically chastises Christians, saying that we make it difficult, that we should get along, we should all come together, the Muslims, the Catholics. So that's bringing in one world religion. And they're telling you that right here. And not only are they telling you all of this, they use actual blood sacrifice to do it, of the most innocent and the most precious on all this earth, children, babies. It drives me crazy. Because you got like this governor who's claiming like he's trying to save all these lives in NYC, yet his mills are open out there. You know the kind of mills I'm talking about. I forgot to bring that up too, but like I said, I had a bunch of tabs open, all completely gone. Couldn't pull them back up even to restore history. So But look this up. Why don't you just look it up? It's Cuomo lights up NYC in pink for the Women's Reproductive Act. And the woman behind that, her name is Kathy Tran. Look up her. She has a whole new bill running called Save the Cankerworm. So get rid of the infants and save a worm. And the cankerworm, by the way, is mentioned in the Bible. It's not very pleasant. It just shows who these people are, who they truly are. They talk out two sides of their mouth. But let's go to the next part. Um, I go back over here. See, there's so much in here. See all this stuff too. I know Casey pointed out that this looks like that V word. I'm not going to say it. But it also is Aphrodite worship. If you look right here, see that's meander right there. It's also the Ouroboros, the sneaky tail. So there's so much going on in this Super Bowl. It's, so here's where I was talking about. This is actually where they do the actual sacrifice. And I've never seen them do this. These are usually mock rituals. We're going to go through that now. I've never actually seen them do this, like, for real, in front of millions of people. And this is what she's doing. That's the One World Trade Center lit up with adrenochrome pink. So this is what made me stop and go, uh-oh, something is just not right here. This is really bad. Something bad's going to happen. And then we got into this situation. But it was really to bring on not just that. That's a part of it, what they were really doing. And it's hidden. It's not even hidden. I mean, it's in your face, but a lot of people don't notice. They're just sleeping. They don't get what they're really seeing. I mean, she actually goes through a birthing process here. Let's see. It's probably going to keep sticking in ads because I'm closing it. I mean, look at this. It's just sick. This whole thing is sick. That looks like a document in our belt, but I haven't been able to get it that close to see. These people are just absolutely perverse. There she is right here. This is Baal worship right here. What she's doing. And as above, so below. Most people know these things. But some people don't. If you look at the video I did with her, I pointed out and I show you, images that show this perfectly. She's about to. See her? See what she just did, sliding down. When they show this from the top, when she does this and slides down, it's actually a birthing canal. This right here. Here we go. She actually is birthing. It's actually the woman's uterus has the ovaries, and then where the child comes out in the birthing process. But it's also a bug. Now here's where this is crazy. This color green, it's representing to the pale horse, which the Super Bowl does too. In the beginning you see it's all red, it turns all black. The red horse, the black horse, and now the pale horse. It's my opinion that the white horse came about between 2009 and 2012. Why do I say that? Because you saw all this other imagery. I don't remember her name. She's a blonde-haired singer that she has an album called The White Horse. We saw Angelina Jolie like naked next to a white horse. There was constant references to white horse in that time period. So, I mean, that's just my theory. I mean, I could be wrong. I think when we read the Bible too, we tend to think there's these long spaces between these things, and I don't necessarily believe that. It doesn't say that they don't come like one right after the other. I think that's quite possible. So let's see what she does. I mean, this is just awesome, what she's about to do. It's so repulsive. So we see all these, and it was Casey from Into the Stars, and this goes to, as well, the black horse, the salmon, right? Because in in the days, in the ancient times, when Moses was up on the mount, he comes down, Israel is worshiping the idol, right? And you're going to see them, they're going to worship. And what did they ask Moses for? They wanted to go back to Egypt, they wanted food, they were starving, just let us go back there. And then the black horse is seeing them, obviously the starvation. But she's also going to, I know that it's absolutely mocking Christ. This is horrible. That's not all she's doing. This is the rebirth of Lucifer. When God stripped Satan, he stripped him even of his name. He stripped him down to a spiritual underpants. So he was no longer Lucifer. It became Asatan or Satan. And they're going to rebirth Lucifer, which is ushering in the birth of the Antichrist. And I'm not saying that the Antichrist is a little babbling baby right now. I believe it's a grown person. I don't even like saying person because it's not really what it is it? And that's what she's doing, mocking. So, rising again. You see Jesus rose from the dead. Well, let's her do this despicable thing. And it's a female. And we have a horrible feminist spirit out there right now. I mean, men are just castrating themselves and turning themselves into women. And I mean, it's absolutely. Now, watch her. She's going to push away the men. Watch her. She'll push the men away. She doesn't want any part. But look, she embraces all the women. She wants nothing to do with those men. You're going to see the whole earth sucking right down in the pit. Let me go a little further here. And by the way, something else I didn't see, I think Casey from the Stars found that too, that the whole front of this was a Baphomet. And then we're going to see what let me get to the part I want. All right. So, I was reading some articles too when I was pulling up stuff for this. I saw some Christian articles. Oh, it's not a big deal. They were just doing a little bit of Aphrodite worship. Well, they were, but who is Aphrodite? I mean, you have to look into these things. Now, this was disturbing. Now, remember, I showed you the birthing. I don't think I actually showed you that. But if you go to my other videos, you'll see that I show you. She actually, she slides right out of the birthing. And look at these. These are like eggs. And they're little children. Every single one of these children here are female. I'm starting to think, yeah. I'm not going to actually do that. But now look at all these girls. They all have the flag on. Right? All the flag. Washed away all the color, right? Like, it's almost like a purifier. Taking God out. Taking Yahweh out. And putting in something new, right? But if you look at her shirt right here, she's She doesn't have a flag on her shirt. This is actually the head of Aphrodite. And that's why you saw that crazy green too. And I'll get into that. Alright, I want to pause this here. It's important, but let me just show you Aphrodite in here. I pulled it up. If y'all see something too, don't, put it in the chat. I'm always willing to look to see what other people. None of us hold all the answers, so don't be afraid. Just jump in there and tell what you think. Anyway, so here's Aphrodite. We saw, I'll show you. I've got an image of her. But that's what was on J-Lo's daughter's shirt. But it's actually J-Lo's daughter in there. So Aphrodite is an ancient Greek goddess associated with love, beauty, pleasure, passion, and procreation. And she was, right here, the Roman goddess Venus. This is very important. So every time you hear like Aphrodite, understand Aphrodite is Venus. And Venus, as most of us know, but for those of you who may watch this that don't, I'll show you what Venus is, if I can find it. Hopefully I pulled it up. Let's hope I did. I don't know. Right here we go. Yep. Lucifer, the light bringer, corresponding to the Greek name Thornbringer for the same planet, is the Latin name for the planet Venus. All one and the same. It's all one and the same. This is what they're doing is ushering in the Antichrist, Lucifer, who is Satan, but he's rebirthing himself as Lucifer. Because remember, God stripped him. So he's mocking Christ by rising again as Lucifer. As if he could. But that's what he's doing. Let me show you. Let me go back to, listen, I'm going to show you what they're doing. Go to the YouTube one. Probably going to get a commercial now right away on this, so just bear with me. One second. This is really important right here because this is a female symbol. And there's something very wrong with this picture because this is not how the female symbol is represented. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm trying to find it. There's just got to be a better way. Let's see. Do male and female. There we go. See the female symbol here? Always pointing down with the cross. It's the male symbol that faces to the right with the arrow. The female symbol always points down. Always. Look at inside the female thing, by the way. It looks like she has horns. What I want. Nothing new under the sun. This is old, ancient evil. So let's go back here to this. See? Go back to the garden in Genesis 3, where I believe the first incursion. my belief. God, because God starts immediately talking about the seed. Well, a woman can't produce seed. Do you see? Do you see it? This is a woman, symbol for woman producing seed. Do you see the sperm? It's all sperm. There's the whole sperm. But it's also, those are those cages, the egg, all coming out of one. Like Jesus being born to Mary, the Virgin. All these are little girls, and all females. There's no males in here. Oh, it's the rebirth of Venus. This is actually was something that happened just recently, the rebirth of Venus. And then they're doing it. So it's the rebirth of Lucifer, ushering in, bringing in the Antichrist. Satan is the Antichrist. And that's what they're doing right here. It's so sick. And they use blood sacrifice to do it. They meant this wasn't a mock ritual. And that's why we're seeing everything. They showed us this thing that's going on right now all throughout this Super Bowl as well. If you haven't seen the other videos I show you, you can watch this little short videos that I did, little promo videos, where I'm just showing you the images of all of this. But I think it was really important to see that the Antichrist is upon us. He's here for sure. And they ushered him in onto the world scene right now. We're going to find out real soon here who it is. You know, something else that it struck me odd, I should have looked this up, but in January I was reading an article. I have a big problem with Barry Obama. There's something so unnatural about that guy, and it's creepy. It's how I started on this platform years ago, over a decade ago. I mean, he just bothers me. There's something inhuman about him. I am not saying he's the Antichrist. He's actually he is a type of Antichrist at the very least. The things that have come out of his mouth are horrible. I mean, just blaspheming God. But I read an article, and it was talking about the 2020 elections. And in it says that Barack, was not going to get involved in the 2020 election unless something, exact words, strange happened. I mean, it made my hairs prickle up. I'm like, yuck. That's not a good feeling when Barack Obama says something like that. And then, you know, I keep saying, watch out. I feel like he's going to come back on the scene. And now you're seeing him pop in because of his creepy vice president that he had, the one that likes to sniff and kiss babies, like smelling their blood or something. He's so weird. I can't think of his name. And he's like out of his mind too. But you know, you're starting to see him appear again. And I think during Trump, and listen, I don't get into politics, but when Trump was first running, like Obama was one step ahead of him, I guess, like oh, everywhere Trump was going, Obama had already been there, kind of thing. You know, something just off with the guy. And I don't think we've seen the last of him on like a world scene. Um, I just can't see it. Somebody in Casey's thing said something in one of the chats one day, said something so interesting. He said, imagine if Michelle Obama became president. Imagine that, because that's a guy. You know what I mean? That's a dude. But dresses up like a woman. We have this feminist spirit. It just, imagine that. It would fit so perfectly. It really would. I mean, obviously, he can't be president again, but doesn't mean that his husband couldn't, or wife, whatever. That would just be unbelievable. But there you go. I mean, this is just ushering in, and this is about as far as I went with this. Um, I'm sure there's more to the end of this, but there's so much in here. Just so much. Look at this. You see it? Do you see now? You see the birthing canal, right? Coming out of a woman. Now they're showing you as the woman symbol. I mean, the seed doesn't come from a woman. That's was the first prophecy of Christ was back in Genesis 3, right? Look at this. You got what looks like a big sun back here, right? It's incredible. So there you go. I mean, it's really that simple. Um, this was ushering in the Antichrist. You don't have anything you saw, you want to put it in the comments. I always leave a link too if anybody's watching. I can't tell if people are watching that if you want to jump on, you're more than welcome to. I love hearing other people's views or what they see, and I think it's extremely important. We all hold a piece to the puzzle. We need to put this puzzle together. So maybe I will. Let's see if I can do this. And maybe I'll go in here and I'll show you real quick what I was talking about in the beginning. I was really upset when I first started this, starting off on such a bad foot again with this Google thing happening. Um, Let me see. Genesis 3 and go. Jeepers. Let me go into here. And I'll just read. I just want to show you something. Have an open mind. Listen, I could be wrong. This is my belief, though. It's what I see. If you start listening and look at how the Bible words itself, is they do a lot of using metaphors. You know what I mean? So I mean, we get referred to as trees. I mean, obviously we're not a tree, but there's all kind. You see this over and over again in the Bible. Jesus does it in parables, and he's talking about eating fruit from the trees of the garden, right? And where'd the apple come from? It doesn't say anything in here about an apple. Now, I can show you where the apple came from. And it's a book that people so seldom even think about. And then, too, is right after this, God starts talking about, right after the sin was committed of eating the fruit, right? He immediately starts talking about seed, the woman's seed. The woman doesn't have seed, right? So this is where I lost my train of thought. This is where the first, what you call it? I just got a mind blank. The first prophecy of Christ. Wow. I should have drank another cup of coffee. But here you go. Right here. Now I'll show you. Let me show you where the apple comes from. It's quite interesting. I think it is anyway. If I think it's my opinion that God started talking to us. She became pregnant. She had twins, Cain and Abel, cannibal, Canaanites. So that's why I believe the incursion happened there. in Genesis 3 first. So let me just show you, and I really feel God it showed me this. Because like I said, I'm like, where's they get an apple from? Why do they call it an apple? Why not a pomegranate? But here we go. Let me just show you. Like I said, this is a book that people just look past, and it's a very short book. Read it. It's highly sexualized. I think that's why you don't see a lot of people in churches, you know, preach on it or teach on it. It's sort of, maybe people feel like it's sort of too risque. So I am a rose of Sharon, a lily of the field. Obviously, a human being isn't a rose or a lily, right? So these are all metaphors. Like a like a lily among thorns is my darling among the young women. So this the whole thing is about the bride and the bridegroom, and they're going to come together into the bride and bridegroom chambers, the bed chambers. That's what this whole book is about. And there you find the apple, like an apple tree among the trees of the forest is my beloved among the young men. It's going to say, strengthen me with raisins, refresh me with apples, for I am faint with love. You know, and this whole thing is about the bride and bride consummating their marriage. This whole book. I mean, if you start reading this, obviously, okay, do not arouse or awaken love until it so desires. Listen, my beloved, look, here he comes, leaping across the mountains. And I mean, this whole thing. Now, so that's where you get the apple from. That's where it comes from. And if you look back and they're talking again, don't eat the fruit, and they're describing the same language. And I think that that's also why Genesis 6 occurs, because why not? Their ruler did it. Why not take the daughters of men to themselves as wives and mate with them? Why not? He did it. He means Satan. And that's, again, the Canaanite bloodline. So I guess I'll just say this. So I'm RH negative. I really, I try to discourage myself from talking about this because there's so much insanity on the internet about RH negative bloodline. Oh, you come from aliens, you're Nephilim, you're reptilian, or you get the other side of it. Oh, the RH negatives will go right to heaven, there's 144,000. Just nonsense. I can go to hell just as easily as an A positive person. It bears no difference. All it simply means is the O is the original blood, the uncontaminated blood. That's all it is. The bloodline that Jesus Christ had to come from could not have contaminated blood, pure blood. Just like the lamb in Passover had to be pure, spotless, clean, blemishless. So, and that's extremely rare, by the way, in a lamb. But that's all this is. And there was contaminated bloodline. You had the contaminated blood of Cain, the father of Cain, Satan, and the father of Abel was Adam. So there you go. And then you put those two together, cannibal. The Canaanites cannibalized. They had bloodlust for baby blood. And there's nothing new under the sun. We are seeing old evil today. This is ancient evil. That's why you're seeing things like Aphrodite come back into play. Casey just did a thing that was talking about Artemis. Artemis is actually talked about in the Bible. Also, Aphrodite, in the time that Jesus walked this earth, in Corinth, there was an Aphrodite temple that had 1,000 prostitutes in it. So all this ancient old evil is coming back. If you think back to like the 80s and 90s, or if you're young, look back. I mean, it was just blatant Satanism. I mean, putting pentagrams up there with the, the Baphomet coming out of it, and I mean, it was just blatant devil worship. Kind of corny in its own way, right? If you look at it, but ridiculous. But now you're seeing ancient stuff coming back. Old evil, Satan evil. I mean, it's all Satan evil, but this is like the root of it, like the real crux of it, if you will. So, I mean, it's up to you, and I'm not telling anybody to believe what I believe at all. This is just what I see, and because there was a physiological change that happened as well. Adam and Eve went from being immortal, mortal. Something happened. There was a change, and why was God immediately starts talking about um, giving birth? Because she was pregnant. She was pregnant with twins. Contaminated bloodline, the bloodline of Satan, and the bloodline of that Christ would come from Adam, the original. Adam and Eve's blood didn't get corrupted. The corruption came out of the birth of the child, King. And then you see more of it in the incursion of, the fallen angels in Genesis 6. So, I mean, it's up to you whether you believe in that. Just go back here for a second, and then I'm going to shut this down. Just going to go back to this here. Again, I told you, I'm not sure if I said the meander that's running all through this. It's also Aphrodite worship. You like the meander. Oh, and this too. Let me show you this. Look at this green. This green is representative of this. Let me show you. I'm sorry for the pauses. It just takes. I'm going to find a different way to do this, and I really think I'm going to get a new computer. I think in the process, I'm still having problems in here that I shouldn't be happening. Um, shouldn't be happening. I didn't get much sleep last night, but here you go. It's the green. Look at this one. This is interesting. Candy. But just to show you, I mean, that's what they're doing. I'm not making this up, and it's right in front of your face, in front of all of our faces. It was disgusting to watch. And it literally brought tears to my husband's eyes when he saw them do the whole. Let me just bring it up quick. Governor. Let's see. Of course, it's going to come up all that stuff, right? Here we go. We kind of wanted images of that. Here we go. Just in case you don't have time to go back and look at the other video. There are videos where I'm not talking. I'm just like picture images and words. And they're really short. And like I said, they're meant to get you to go look for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. I'm not perfect. The only perfect person that ever walked this earth is Jesus Christ. None of us are going to walk on water, if you know what I mean. But here we go. So I can just show you this. You see, I'm not making this up. New York celebrates legalizing this word. And this bill is horrifying. Horrifying. And that's why I got so upset watching this. I immediately recognized what it was, and it immediately made me sick to my stomach. And I knew this was bad. It's just not, it wasn't just a mock ritual. So you can look this bill up too if you don't know about it. It's horrifying. So let's go back and I'll show you again. What's her J-Lo doing? And then she comes on, and if you go to my other channel, I actually said she's going to come back and say how much she loves children. And when, Tuesday morning after the Super Bowl, that's what she was saying, how much she loves children. Yeah. Okay. It seems awfully strange when you're promoting this. Right? So you can see that's what she's doing. I wasn't making that up. Um, anyway, I hope you all got something from this. If you have anything you want to share, please do. I kind of wanted to do a little, not that this isn't doom, but it's not doom for us if you're saved. I mean, if you're saved, it's just the more signs of the return of Christ, our Lord and Savior. So, if you're, for those who aren't saved, I'd be peeing in my pants right now if I wasn't saved. Because what's coming, you think what we're going through now is bad? We haven't seen anything yet. I'm not a pre-tribber rapture person either. So, I mean, there's arguments to be made on both sides, but I just feel like we're going to be here. It's always, we're not going to be here for the bowl judgment. Obviously, that judgment isn't meant for us. But I would say there are two other Christians then that are getting their heads locked up. Who are the Christians that are being persecuted if there's a pre-trib rapture? And we're in the birth pains. So if that were the case, we wouldn't all be locked down in our house. We'd be sitting with God already. So, that's just an opinion I have. And I don't judge anybody that thinks that we have pre-trib rapture at all. It's okay. We can all agree to disagree and walk in love and grace with one another the way God expects us to. And this is why we need to come together with our opinions to try to make a whole puzzle, put our pieces together. I'm going to do a video, and this one's crazy. I just want to take a break from what 19 bug. I'm just tired of it. Like I said yesterday, I miss my mom, I miss my daughter, my in-laws. You know, it's awful. So anyhow, I'm going to do this video. I did it on my other channel. You can go over that's the Tierra Odom channel. I am locked out of that channel. So on my tablet and on my TV, it's still on. It's because it's still signed in. The thing is that Google took my email away that I had for over a decade, and that's linked to that YouTube channel. So I can't get in to that channel. So I'm waiting. My husband just bought something else to fix my tablet because I'm still signed in on that. So I can go over to that channel. The channel is basically useless anyway. It's blacklisted. With YouTube, I can't do a live stream on it. I have to have at least 1,000 subs, which I had, but they took away all my subs. So, and most of my videos. But if you go over to that, there's a video. It's just the creepiest commercial ever. And it is. So I'm going to, and I put that out in 2014. And that, I believe it's a History Channel commercial. And I believe that commercial came out in 2012, which is so interesting because I have a feeling we're going to see who the Antichrist is by 2020. It's just what I believe. There's too many things about 2012. If you reverse it, as above so below, the mirror image, 12 to 21. But I'm gonna do another video on that commercial because it still relates to everything we're seeing right now. It's mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. So yeah, I think maybe I'll do that tomorrow or maybe Sunday. We'll see. Because I got to go back through that commercial and break it down, and I have to be careful with that. And when I put it up on the other channel, I got a strike for it because I played the music. So to be really careful with it. But anyway, I hope you all are blessed. I hope this was interesting to you. Again, I apologize for this nonsense. It is not me. It's not the like I'm making a computer error. It literally boots me off of Google. And then when you try to restore your tabs, it just won't let me. They're gone. So anyway, I apologize. I hope it turned out a little better towards the end. If you have any questions or if you see anything, please, we can always come back to this. Let me know. I love for you to share what you know, and I guess that's it. I hope y'all are blessed. Stay blessed. Remember John 3:16. For God so loved the world. That's all of us. He gave his only begotten Son. And whosoever, we are all whosoever should believe in him shall have everlasting life. Stay safe. Stay in the shelter of the Lord's wing. Keep your full armor of God on. And we'll talk to you. Peace and love.